Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Happy Ruby Tuesday. Happy Valentine's Day. I am so lucky that my project got to land on Valentine's Day because I love creating for this holiday. I love anything Valentine's inspired that is vintage or antique. So yeah, I'm super excited to share my project today. I think I got a little excited and I decided to make 4 journals, which ended up being quite a lot of work. And I've been working on them for quite a long time. So you may have seen some previews. I think about a month ago, I started posting previews where I showed you some of the beginning pages with the hearts on the inside and things like that. But yeah, now I get to reveal everything. Just a quick note, guys, I struggle with eczema so bad, and my hands right now, I have an extreme flare up. This time of year, I always get my eczema on my hands. That's the place where it flares up. And so you'll notice I just have patches on my hands and it's so uncomfortable, you guys. So yeah, that's just something I'm dealing with right now, but at least my nails look cute. I tried to do some Valentine's blingy inspired nails for this video. So anyway, let's just start with this one. So what I was trying to show you there was that I kind of made... Oh, and I'm also sick, guys. So I'm sorry if my voice sounds strange. I'm actually not going to talk through this whole thing because my throat really hurts. And yeah, my whole house is sick. So yeah, that's also why I sound strange. I'm a hot mess, okay? Eczema, sick, sore throat. It's a lot. But anyway, so what I did was kind of created 2 of each. There's this one and then the other one. They both have kind of the exact same layout as far as the composition of the cover, and then the other 2 have a similar composition. So they all have a front pocket with a antique postcard that I selected that I thought would be perfect for the holiday. And so yeah, each one also, this is my favorite feature of them, is when you open it up, the inside of the front cover, I tried to do something cute on all of them for this. So you'll see throughout all the other journals, they all have different little features, but they have, I think all of them have the envelopes, and some of them I just stuck little tiny things in there, and some of them I left blank. They're just more for decoration, I would say. But yeah, so as far as the Ruby and Pearl digitals, I went crazy and I printed stuff off from countless different kits. I definitely tried to use Message of Love, the newer one, and the Hearts collection throughout all of these. And you'll see some of those beautiful, really bright pinky reds from that collection. Those 2 collections in here, and then from there I've just used countless other ones. A lot of the digital ephemera that's in here, the printed little cards and things, those are all from, a bunch of different kits. I like to print out the collage pages, or pages that just have lots of little elements to cut out, and so I just went crazy printing and cutting things. So I can't tell you exactly what kit everything came from because it is hard to remember that, and I did not write it down, although I did write down every kit that I used on a piece of paper on my desk. And then when I did a big desk cleanup after this project, I threw it away along with everything else that I had thrown away, all my scraps and stuff. So I'm gonna do my best to note in the description box the kits that I've used, but there are quite a few. So here I just wanted to show you the type of paper that I used to print that paper that was in that pocket there. It was from the Vintage Ledger Florals one kit, and I printed it on vintage onion skin paper, and I think it came out really nice, and it has a nice crinkly sound. This one right here is from Message of Love, and I printed it on coffee stained paper, and I think it looked really cool on top of the coffee stains. And then I've used petite paper strips throughout all these journals, and I don't know if it's this one or there might be another one as we go along that I used that kit in particular a lot. I cut out so many little elements from that kit and used it to decorate the journals overall, but there's one that I used it in quite a bit, and I really love how versatile that particular kit is. And then that was a little piece. That little pen is from, I want to say Creme Brulee. No, I don't know. I don't remember. And that's a real Victorian advertising card that I got from a book that I had. And then here I just did a little frame, like a little embossed frame page. And on the other side is a beautiful photograph, which is from one of the kits, and some real French ephemera. So I've tried to have a nice balance of real vintage and antique ephemera. A lot of it is French. There's a ton of real authentic Victorian die cuts that are just so beautiful that I've used to decorate the journals. Lots of little like real vintage and antique tags. But on top of that, I've also used so much printed ephemera. So I really tried to make a lot of printed ephemera. And another thing that I'll note is, you'll see as we go along, I'm just trying to kind of tell you everything now so I can let this go to music because my throat is really hurting. But a tip I have for cutting out like the ephemera and like little cards and things throughout the kits, what I did was I backed them onto like a stiffer card, like a cardstock or something, just because I like to have a like sturdier feel to some of those things. And then I went through all my dies. I have so many different types of dies, and I die cut them out. Like I just found dies that would kind of fit the card or whatever it was, and I die cut it out because I just think it gave like here's one. I have these like deckled edge dies, and so I cut it out with a deckled edge die just to kind of give a little border around some of them. It just gives a little something extra and like a nice clean cut versus just cutting it out as like a square, you know. It's just a little something extra. So I just worked with the dies that I have and went through, like even that one there is cut out with a deckled edge die, and then I've aged around the edges, as you can see. So it just gives a little more something. I don't know if it's more authentic, but just like a little something extra to the edges. And I've also used those like craft scissors, like they say they're for kids. I use them, like the ones that have like a stamp edge or like I don't know, you know which ones I'm talking about, like kids crafty scissors that cut like edges. I use those quite a bit in some of the small little details and elements in here. So let's see, what else can I tell you? This is from one of the document sets. I've made a few handmade tags here and there, some little printed things. I've used a lot of the collage sheets to create like side pockets, such as that one right there. I think that was part of a collage sheet or from one of the photograph sets, and I just cut a strip and I used that as my pocket just to create some interest. This is such a tiny little envelope. I've included small envelopes in each of the journals, I believe. There's like these little, I'm just measuring it just to show you how small it is and to show off my little cute ruler. And then these are checks printed on drawing paper. Those are printed on like children's drawing paper. So that beautiful print there is from Message of Love, and then the centerpiece of all the journals has a heart from the Hearts collection, one of the larger hearts in the center, and I just thought that looked really cool. And that also that book page there, I just printed it on the back of that floral paper. I just really love that center. And then this is a little tag from one of the kits, and I use it as a tuck spot. And then created some more little ephemera there, used my decal edge dies there, an embellished library card. And then you can kind of see, oh, that's also from Raspberry Rose, maybe that one was from. Here's some wallpapers, and then that little Paris little cutout thing, that's from Petite Paper Strips, I believe. little heart from the Hearts collection. And some authentic ephemera in there. So you can see how I really like mixed it up with the real things and also like the ephemera that Heather provides in her kits. I love doing that. It gives a nice mix to everything. It like allows me to use my dyes, which I love. So there's just like a nice like textures all throughout. These are my special little red file folder tabs. They're vintage. I've either got them from Sarah Crafty Paper Bits or Catherine French Biadou. I don't know. I believe that they're from one of the French sellers. And yeah, just some more ephemera. So, I also don't think I mentioned the closure. I'm just looking at the little heart on the side, off to the side on the right there. But the little closures for these, I made some little heart embellishments out of air dry clay. So I have some molds and I use my molds to make these little hearts with clay, and I have painted and waxed and sealed them with like a glossy sealer and poked a hole through them, put a jump ring and a little clip, and so that's part of your closure. So be careful with those. I mean, just don't slam it on the ground. It's clay, it'll break, but you don't have to be too gentle with it, but just be aware that it's a clay embellishment. It is hard to the touch and hard to the feel, but yeah, if you were to drop it, it may break. So just letting you know that it's not one of my usual resin pieces. So here, I showed this envelope in my Instagram reels. I created vellum envelopes for each journal, and inside of the vellum envelope is some cutout photographs, and I tried to do a nice mix of sizes of the photographs in here, just as a little like maybe the person who had this journal kind of like kept little mementos in this vellum envelope. And yeah, they're just so many beautiful pictures. You saw all of those. They're just amazing with all the hands holding the roses and stuff like that. It's so romantic and beautiful. And so each one of the journals has a vellum envelope like that. Each one also has a piece of this red rose vintage stationery. It looks like it's like on linen, printed on linen paper. And then each journal also has one of my antique train documents. So this one's from 1881. So that's something that definitely every journal has. And as I go through them, I'm going to skip opening up the envelopes and opening up each of the ephemera pieces because they all have very similar ones. So the envelope is the only thing that's different, and the type of pictures are different, but every journal has that same feature that I just went over. So just letting you know about that, and you'll see me not open them throughout the rest of the video. I love this little pocket here. Again, I printed that little baby on, it's like a little cabinet card type thing on, or I'm sorry, I die cut it out is what I want to say. I die cut it out with one of my dies, and it just slipped right into this, and that is from one of the documents sets, or I don't remember, but I cut it out and used it as a pocket. This is a real vintage brass heart charm, and then another little beaded charm and glass leaf. In this pocket we have a French telegram, and that's another one of the side pockets where I've used the butterflies from one of the kits, like just a little strip of it, to create a side tuck pocket there. And this is just some more little things. And then the polka dot paper that you see on the next page, that's also from Message of Love, and it is on that vintage onion skin paper as well. And then some avocado dyed paper, the other side of the frame page. Oh, I did a lot of like splashes of gold throughout all of these journals. A few of the journals have this feature. I cut a little piece of the William Morris drawings kit, and I created like a little corner tuck type thing, and I just put some ephemera in there. That's something from one of the kits, and a little heart sticker. And what was on the back was actually a little piece of Happy Mail that my fellow design team member Melanie from Handmade of Stardust sent me. So there's that and another photograph that she sent me in Happy Mail that I included in these journals. So a little bit of Melanie's things are in here too. This little black card right here is also a authentic Victorian like advertising card that I got from a big Victorian scrapbook, and it's attached to this vintage French ledger sheet. These ledger sheets are in each of the journals as well. Each one has the same amount of pages, which I haven't counted yet, but they each have the same amount of pages and the same types of pages. So here is where I'll start speeding the video up a little bit. We still have 3 journals to get through for a total of 4, so I'll speed it up a tiny bit and I'll continue with the voiceover. Maybe a little bit throughout this one. I'm sure there might be some other things I want to explain. I know there was some things in the first journal that I missed kind of going over, so like here is already something. In all of the journals I've created like a little I've used this little slide die and created something inside of the slide, so you'll see it here, that little slide. And I've used the wallpapers to create the slide, and also on the inside of this little flap I had pointed to it was the French word for February. I used my vintage French agenda, and I just picked pages from February and included them in this journal just to kind of add to the Valentine's theme. I think this might be the journal where like I mentioned, I really went wild with the petite paper strips kit. I think I used to be overwhelmed with that kit a little bit, even though it's so beautiful. I like kind of didn't know what to do with it for a while. Excuse me. And then I just started cutting it up like crazy. And I really love using it for decoration now. So that's kind of what I've done. I think this might be the one. In this journal, for the window, just on this one page, I used a piece of vellum, and I know that paper is from the La Luna kit, and I just I die cut out a circle just to create like a little vellum window. Lots of little charms in all of these. I think each one has a vintage brass charm. This one has a little cherub. So as I mentioned, I'm using authentic ephemera as well as printed, and this one right here, this blue one, is printed. I forget what kit, but it is printed from one of Heather's kits, and I also printed it double-sided, so it had a little something on the back and just a little playing card, and then another printed item. Isn't that back beautiful? You can just like write over the back of that. Just a little note about all of the covers. I have painted on the covers, like on the fabric, just to bring out some of the colors in the fabrics, and I kind of just like traced over some of the trims, and I flicked some silver paint onto some of them, and just to kind of bring out the textiles a little bit and add like a little bit of a shiny feel to them. They're all like metallic paints that I used, so that's just something I wanted to explain that I did to all of the covers, and you'll see close-ups of them probably in my photographs or throughout the video probably. This large hang tag right here I made with some authentic vintage wallpaper that was gifted to me from Ruby and Pearl XO. So I thought it was just kind of nice to have a little authentic piece of something in Heather's collection in one of these journals. And then this little element here is just a little vellum frame that I made randomly, and I put some little brads from my very special little brad collection that I got from Catherine at French Billet around the edges of that frame. So it's just kind of an interesting little element, I guess, in this journal. I think if my house was on fire and I could like take like, I don't know, 2 things or something with me before my house like completely went up in flames, that little tin with vintage and antique French brads would be definitely one of the things I would take. I love it so much. All right, everybody, we are coming close to the end of this video, so I'm going to say goodbye here. Sorry my voice sounds so horrible in this video. I can't even wait to like go back and listen to this voiceover and just cringe at how bad I sound. But I hope you enjoyed these journals. I really, truly did love making them. I like put my heart and soul, my whole Valentine's heart and soul into these, and I'm really happy with the way they came out. I really feel like they're just a lovely bunch of journals. So they'll be available on my website as you are watching this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great Valentine's Day, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.